been rapidly installing. It might even include the reintroduction of nuclear weapons to Japan and South Korea to emphasize that we're determined to fully deter any North Korean attack and, should deterrence fail, that it would result in a prompt and overwhelming response. But the Trump administration also appears to have not ruled out a preventive strike akin to what the George W. Bush administration undertook in Iraq. So preventive strikes against North Korea could take three forms. 1. The offshore option. The United States launches Tomahawk cruise missiles from a Navy ship or submarine. This is the least risky option since it doesn't involve traversing North Korean territory, and would resemble Trump's strikes against the Syrian military for using chemical weapons, but there's no guarantee that North Korea would refrain from retaliating. 2. The aerial option. U.S. stealth bombers or fighter aircraft conduct airstrikes over North Korea. Such an approach is more conducive to military escalation than the first option. The North Korean government knows that U.S. bombers are capable of carrying nuclear weapons, and the United States might need to take out North Korean air defenses to successfully deploy some of these planes. Even if the U.S. operation is limited in scope, North Korea may not interpret it that way. 3. The high-tech options. A U.S. bomber drops a massive ordnance penetrator, a bunker-busting bomb that has never been used in combat, on hard-to-reach targets such as underground nuclear facilities. Or the U.S. trots out other new technologies, such as electromagnetic railguns mounted on warships. Using these weapons would set a precedent that other countries could emulate, and it's unclear whether they would be any more effective than lower-tech options. Depending on the military assets used and the purpose of the strikes, the Trump administration could hit a variety of targets, including facilities for producing and storing nuclear material and nuclear weapons, missile facilities, submarine ports, artillery positions near the DMZ that could be used in a retaliatory attack, since these targets are dispersed across the country and often concealed underground or undersea. However, U.S. strikes won't eliminate the country's nuclear weapons program, according to Victor Cha, a Korea expert who was serving in the George W. Bush administration when North Korea tested its first nuclear weapon. Daryl Press, a scholar of nuclear deterrence at Dartmouth College, said America's capacity to inflict severe damage on North Korea's program shouldn't be underestimated. But he argued that this capability is best suited to responding to an outbreak of war between North and South Korea, or to North Korea using or threatening to imminently use nuclear weapons, rather than as a preventive measure. Kim Jong-un, like his father Kim Jong-il, appears to view nuclear weapons as the most reliable way to deter foreign aggression. The Saddam Hussein regime in Iraq and the Gaddafi regime in Libya could not escape the fate of destruction after being deprived of their foundations for nuclear development and giving up nuclear programs of their own accord, the state-run Korean Central News Agency solemnly observed in 2016. Given this, Press reasoned, North Korean leaders could interpret any U.S. attack on their nuclear infrastructure as a prelude to invading or overthrowing the government, even if the United States insists otherwise. To force the United States and its regional allies to back off, the North Koreans might carry out conventional attacks on Seoul and U.S. military bases in Japan and South Korea, unleash chemical weapons on those targets, or even make use of whatever nuclear weapons survive the initial U.S. strikes. Of course, any of these audacious actions would likely invite an enormous U.S. and South Korean military assault on the Kim government. Since the 1960s, the North Korean military's theory of victory, how they believe military force can achieve political goals and coerce successfully and control escalation